All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, the Great Millstone, and the South East brothers doing this thing in sincerity, in truth, and with charity. Man, hey, we in some good times. The prophecies are definitely speaking. It's just a matter of it all falling into place and, completely. It's happening though. Like the scriptures say, though it tarry, wait for it, it shall surely come. It will not tarry. So it's taking time to us, it seems like, but it's not. It's happening. It's not tarrying. It's happening. So, we got the digital system set up. They ready. It's just a matter of them enforcing it. And what else comes at this end time is war. And that's the scriptures. In fact, let me grab it's something I'm trying to think which one. Let's grab the 2 Edges 13. Let's do that one. That's a little starter. Hold on. Okay, this is further down. Second 13:29. Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. So this is going into the end times, our salvation, right? He shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. All right? So this third woe, coming into play is it. It was 3 woes given. The first 2 have passed. Wait on this last big war. All right? The first 2 wars had to happen. That was Esau's blessing, that great sword that he had. But then it tells us what in Revelation, that red horse had that sword to take peace from the earth and fight one against another. They're called world wars, but let's call it what it is and what it was. Edom versus Edom. All right? Those are Edomites versus Edomites. Yeah, some other nations got in, of course. But really, it was Edom versus Edom. France, Germany, Russia, America, all right? Britain, Europe. These are Edomites fighting each other. All right? And they had their little allies. But let's hit this article. Where's the second article I pulled up? Where's the second one? Well, let's go ahead. I didn't close it, though. Maybe I did on accident. How 10 Middle East conflicts are converging into one big war. The U.S. is enmeshed in wars among disparate players in Israel, Iraq, Lebanon, Syria, and Yemen. And disparate basically means opposite or contrary, something like that. Contrasting. Different in kind, All right. Demonstrators in the Houthi-controlled capital of Sana'a, Yemen, marched in solidarity with the people of Gaza. On Friday, a day after the U.S. led attacks on dozens of Houthi military sites in Yemen, Biden took a few shouted questions during a campaign stop at the Nowhere Cafe in the Malls, Pennsylvania. Do you have a message for Iran? A reporter called out as Biden waited for a smoothie. I've already delivered the message to Iran, he replied. They know not to do anything. Tehran, he added, did not want a war with the United States. Biden was then asked if he would order more strikes if Houthi rebels, armed, trained, and funded by Iran for years, did not end their drone and missile attacks on commercial and military ships in the Red Sea. Did not end their drone and missile attacks on the commercial and military ships in the Red Sea, a strategic waterway that bridges trade between Asia and Europe. We will make sure we respond to the Houthis if they continue this outrageous behavior, he replied. That's a lot. That's a lot. And this is Joel 3. Because this is what we waiting for. They talking about the exact area that we're waiting for these troops to be brought into, man. This is Joel 3. Hold on. Let me make sure. It may be the second chapter. I'll cheat. I will cheat. Okay, Joel 2. Joel 2 and 18. Look what it says. Deliverance promised. All right, this is our salvation here, man. Then will Yahweh be jealous for his land and pity his people? Yeah, Yahweh will answer and say to his people, behold, I will send you corn and wine and oil, and ye shall be satisfied therewith, and I will no more make you a reproach among the heathen. So soon, the tables are going to turn. We're no longer going to be the butt of everybody's jokes, man. All right? The so-called Negro, Latino, Native American will no longer be the face of folly. Because that's what it is, man. Niggas, Latin Americans are big jokes right now. All right? Whenever you see them on a big screen, 8 times out of 10, they're playing the role of a sodomite, man. I'm gonna and 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, damn near. They're gonna do some sodomite shit in the movie or show that they're in, man. Even if they're straight, they're gonna do gay jokes like Shaq dry humping Kevin Hart. That's supposed to be comedy. That's supposed to be fucking funny, man. No, it's sick. How was that okay? That was the act of they're joking about with rape. Wait a minute, you can't make that joke with women, but you can do it with 2 men? That's crazy. This world is so far fucking gone. A reproach. You see a nigga, Esau's right, you think of a thug. That's exactly what you think of, a fucking thug, man. And that's the image you portray. The black woman is loud and outrageous. That clip went viral like 2 months ago, maybe 3. Suki in like Europe or London, all loud, talking about she's selling cat around Edomites, man. Well, at one point, so-called Negroes was literally the face, the definition of etiquette. We taught the Caucasians after their 1,000-year period had been put away, called the Dark Ages. We taught them basics, starting from how to shower, how to behave themselves. And now look how low we fucking gone, man. Shit is a damn disgrace. But I will remove far off from you the northern army and will drive them into a land barren and desolate. So something's going to bring this, where are we at? North America. All right? Something's going to drag this military away. We know martial law is going to be here. But something's going to pull them away from the land. and drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea, which is Euphrates, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea. So what's going to be behind him is the Red Sea. So that's the area they're going to be in, man. All right? And his things shall come up, and his ill savor shall come up, because he have done great things. This is what's going to happen, man. World War III, all right, is heavily played out in the so-called Middle East. Granted, it's gonna be violence across the lands. They're gonna be troops and invading one another across the lands. But the main place where they're gonna gather is in the so-called Middle East, the Valley of Jehoshaphat. Yahweh Shaphat, Yahweh's judgment. All right? And that's what this article just highlighted. This is happening right at the Red Sea, right now. Yet the U.S.-led strikes on the Houthis appear unlikely to curtail confrontation of the Red Sea or tensions anywhere else in the Middle East, which we know is Western Asia. All right? Even that is still not what the fuck it is. That's still, what the conquerors, the title they put on it. So tomato, same thing, right? On Friday, the International Crisis Group warned that a military response to Houthi attacks may have symbolic value for Western nations and may curb certain Houthi capabilities, but would have limited overall impact. They could even make things worse. The Yemeni rebels are buoyed by popular support for siding with Hamas in Gaza and gaining lopsided leverage over international commerce. The ICG concluded nearly 15% of the world's seaborne trade passes through the Red Sea and the Suez Canal. The Houthi attacks, which have accelerated since the 19th of November, have already affected almost 50 nations. President Biden said in a statement on the U.S. response. American and British forces launched 150 missiles and bombs that hit 60 military sites in more than 24 locations in Yemen. Yet the Houthis reportedly still have the vast majority of their military assets. Like Hamas, the Houthis feel empowered to have their way at a bearable cost. The ICG said both militias are pulling the world into their conflicts and hyping their causes. On Sunday, Houthis fired at a U.S. warship in the Red Sea. This is the area to keep your eye on. This has been like this for decades. But now it's getting hot over there actually dealing with these areas, man. And let's toss in the fact that Saudi Arabia has joined the BRICS. America is no longer in control over all the OPEC nations and having the dominance and forcing them to use the dollars, the U.S. dollars, when they do their personal deals with other countries. The times are changing. When there's a power shift, there's violence. Nobody gives up the throne without a fight. And no one takes it without a fight. That's not how it works. The escalation and inherent dangers for the future reflects a merge of crises in the Middle East. 10 conflicts among diverse rivals or in different arenas over disparate flashpoints and diverging goals are now converging. For all the recent punditry warning about a widening war, the trajectory has long been obvious. And for all the American warships, troops, and diplomats deployed in the Middle East over the past 100 days, the U.S. produced little, if anything, beyond greater vulnerabilities. They're showing their weakness, man. The U.S. appears pretty disconnected from regional realities, which may have been an intentional approach to enable withdrawal. When does U.S. in history start a fight or enter a conflict, start with an escape plan? Hey, America's weak and the world is seeing it. The world is fucking seeing it. But now that Washington has been sucked back in by Israel's war, is looking pretty lost. Damn. They gonna have to fight. Hey. They gonna have to fight. This is Jeremiah. And look at this. 49, 20, 50, and 45. One says Edom, the other says Babylon. It's talking about the same thing. Modern day Babylon is Edom, okay? Mystery Babylon is Edom. The last kingdom to rule is Babylon. The last kingdom to rule, Lamentations 4 and 21, Obadiah, 2nd Ezra 6, is Edom. So, let's get this. Jeremiah 50, 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purpose is that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. All right? Israel, basically the smallest nation. All right? The smallest group of Edomites. For one, Edom is the smallest people. Edom are the so-called white men. All right? Which, not just America, not just Europe, is all of y'all collectively. Is the smallest group of people. All right? One of the smallest groups. All right? Moab, Ammon, huge numbers. Israel, huge numbers. Ham, huge numbers. All right? Japheth, decent sized numbers. Edom is small. And then you got Amalek, which is even smaller. They don't even fill up the land of Israel that they got, which isn't even the size of the ancient land of Israel. It's much smaller. But they're bringing America right into their shit. All right. A lot of the rest of Europe don't even agree with this shit, man. All right. The rest of America's allies. Another reason why there's division, man. Another reason why they're going to turn against the whore. All right, and hate the whore. The EU being the 10 horns, man. That's why. That's one of the reasons, man. All right, but it says the least of the flock shall draw them out, and it says to against the land of the Chaldeans, which the Chaldeans today, the wise men of Babylon, would be the land of Israel. So of course America's going to be wiped out. All right, but the so-called Middle East is also finna get fire and brimstone. All right, that's the Valley of Jehoshaphat. So let's get back to this article. The spiraling momentum makes it all but impossible for the U.S. to unilaterally impose its will upon the region. What? America can't do what they want to do? What? How do you think the nation's going to take that? I'll tell you how they're looking at it. Isaiah 14 and 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. But hell represents the grave. All right? That's what it means, literally. It stirreth up the dead for thee. Even, there you go, the dead. Not talking about a pit and a fire in the middle of the spiritual world. What? It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. All right? So this is not literally dead. This is going into being beneath the rulers. All right? It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. So they ready. All they shall speak in sincerity. Art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Further proven that when he was dead, it was because they was at the bottom. They buried. But now they looking at America like you become like us, you're weak. That's why they still attacking American ships and shit in the Red Sea. They don't get no fuck no more. It's unheard of. And America ain't really bombing their ass, like really going at it. This is it. They would have did some real shit back in 94, 92. Weak ass niggas. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vows. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. And this place is ready to be destroyed. It's decaying on every level. Infrastructure, the money. All right, the world is seeing that democracy is a farce. American democracy is a farce, and they're laughing at it. All right, everything about this place going downhill. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? This is still going into the subject matter above. Where's the king of Babylon, which is the rulers of Babylon, Esau, Edom? For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. All right. They set up space stations. They put their image up as the Most High. All right. They're proud. That pomp. Okay. So they're talking about the angel Satan leaving hell and going to make a war with the Most High. No. Satan is already up there with the Most High, unless he's in the earth doing his bidding. He works for the Lord. Psalms say the Lord is evil angels on your ass. All right? This is going to Edom. Lucifer means light bearer. All right? And what do we call the elites? The Illuminati. Ain't that something? The light bearers. Illuminated ones. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation, the sides of the north. So they're ruling over the northern and southern kingdom in North America. The stars of God. We're those stars. What did the Lord tell Abraham? So shall thy seed be. And you know, scriptures manifold. They also got space stations and want to have they space crusades, whatever, which ain't happening. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall never look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man, the son of perdition, the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. They refused to let us go. Jeremiah 50:33. All right. All the kings of the nation, even all of them, lie in glory. Everyone is on house. This is going to after the judgment. The rest of the heathens are going to get, their lands back. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Esau ain't getting that. Cast away, man, through. He ain't getting his land. That's ours. Thou shalt not be joined with them and bury you, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. Just so you know, it's not talking about an angel. It's talking about a people. Right here, plain. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise or possess the land, or fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, says the high of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. And we're almost there. We're watching Babylon's time tick away right now. The war drums are beating. All right? The confluence of conflict is dizzying. Israel faces four distinct front lines. It has fought Hamas on the southern border. Meanwhile, Hezbollah has launched some 700 attacks from the north border. Lebanon, in solidarity with Hamas. The two militant groups, one Sunni, the other Shiite, even they're uniting. share strategic goals, but they have different domestic agendas. Hamas did not collaborate with Hezbollah on the offensive, according to U.S. intelligence. They had run largely separate campaigns against Israel until now. 2nd Esdras 15:31. 29. Were the nations of the behold a horrible vision and appearance thereof from the east. Where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood. The Carmanians are the Iranians, man. All right? And Iran and the Saudis just both joined up with Russia. And with great power shall they come and join battle with them. And shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. So like I was reading down. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. And if they shall turn themselves conspiring together in great power to persecute them. So they uniting, man. Hey, that go a conspiracy right there. These Arabs finna unite and be on your ass. Israel also still has no peace with 16 Arab governments. Recent progress on the Abraham Accords, designed to end 76 years of Arab-Israeli conflict, has been indefinitely stalled despite desperate diplomacy by the Biden administration. Saudi Arabia is the linchpin. Okay. Yeah. For the Garden of Islam's holy places. Making peace with Israel amid a war with the Palestinians is untenable without a deal that includes statehood for their fellow Arabs. 96% of Saudis now believe that all Arab states should terminate ties to Israel, a dog greatly despised, according to a poll last month by the Washington Institute for Near East Policy. U.S. intelligence has warned of growing Arab and Muslim support for Hamas, which is designated a terrorist group by the U.S. and Europe. Israel's fourth front is a shadow war with Iran, playing out in Syria. It has launched hundreds of airstrikes on Iranian weaponry, military. So there you go. The Carmanians, the Arabs, gonna be on your head. So yeah, it's a wrap. Hey, this is Zephaniah 3:8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey for my determination to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger. Let me grab this other phone, because it was another article. grab a little quick point out of that before we end it. So lock you. Pour this up. The other one not seeing. Of course, Esau. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna try this way. Okay, nothing was seen. It's all good. Putin ally says World War III would definitely begin soon. Where? In Middle East. Margarita, editor-in-chief of the Russian state-owned broadcaster RT, predicted that World War III would definitely break out in the Middle East. They talking about Russia would sit out the impending war. No, you won't. And now the Third World War, Simonian posted to X Monday evening, which is Twitter. Whether the war will break out now or a little later depends on whether Washington believes that it'll be useful to it now, before the elections, or vice versa. But judging by the choral silence of the American media, they are still thinking. Simonyan's comments follow other allies of Russia, Putin, who have made similar claims in light of Russia-Ukraine war and the conflict between Israel and Hamas. Said earlier this week that World War III had already started. Deputy Chair of Russia's Security Council, Dmitry Medvedev, claimed in a post to X in early December there hasn't been such a high threat of direct confrontation between Russia and NATO since the Cold War, criticizing Joe Biden's administration for funding Ukraine's fight against Russia and causing a prolonged war. All right? And that's the will of the Lord. All right? A world war would definitely start. And with almost complete probability precisely in the Middle East. Well, that is where you'll be gathered, you know. But violence is going to be across the globe. Violence will be across the globe. But the prophecies are happening, man. That made me think about Ezekiel 38. Just reading that. Talking about conflict, direct conflict between NATO and Russia ain't been this big in a long time. Well, Ezekiel 38:1, and the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog. So you got to look at an old map, look at the landmass, and see who possesses it now. All right, Russia. Well, you got to really dig, man. That's why research is called research. All right? You got to really look. Now, you may get lucky and find the right map the first time around, but you usually got to really get into it, man. The chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thy army. So the Lord is controlling them. They can say they're going to sit out, but then right after that, talk about the direct possibility of war being at a height that ain't seen in a minute, man. Or the highest point ever. Let me see. Let me go to the article. It ain't been this bad since the Cold War is saying. All right? That's the will of the Lord, man. The hooks is in their jaws. War is inevitable. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. And I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, so war vehicles, all of your Humvees, tanks, etc. All of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, and Persia is Iran. All of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee, BRICS nation, which has grown since January 1st this year. All right? Including Iran officially being part of this, man. Officially, Iran is now part of BRICS. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Be thou a guard unto them. So it's only so much America and Israel is even allowed to fucking do to these other nations because Russia is and his allies are with them. After many days thou shalt be visited in the latter years. Thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel. So there will be war in the so-called Middle East, as the article has said. Which have been always waste, but is brought forth out of the nations. And they shall dwell safely, all of them. Which, now that's jumping to Israel. When we get the land, we're going to dwell safely. But right now, you're going to be brought against them that's there. Because later on in the chapter it says, when my people get there, let me just keep going. Let me find that verse to bounce back up. We can bounce. This is the Bible. We can bounce. That's what it's precept upon precept. Here a little, there a little. That's the map key. They think they say if they ain't been touched, the Lord really finna get on y'all head. Y'all surrounded by enemies and think y'all fucking straight. You got an iron dome. Ezekiel 38:14. Therefore, son of man, prophesy, saying to God, thus saith the Lord Yahweh. In that day when my people of Israel dwell safely, shalt thou not know it. And thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts, thou and many people with thee, all of them riding upon horses, a great company and a mighty army. So when it's our time to be there safely, we're going to know. Right now, the Lord is going against this land. And thou shalt come up against my people of Israel as a cloud to cover the land. And yes, that means you being out me niggas that went over there. Y'all are wrapped up in this. Part of you getting citizenship in the state of Israel was you had to join their military. Now y'all gonna get fucked up too. As a cloud to cover the land, it shall be in the latter days. I will bring thee against my land. This is really what the point is, to come against that land. That the heathen may know me when I shall be sanctified in thee, O God, before their eyes. And that's really the point on this, man. Now let me verse 19. For my jealousy and in the fire of my wrath have I spoken. Surely in that day there shall be a great shaking in the land of Israel, the valley of Jehoshaphat, man, so that the fishes of the sea and the fowls of the heaven and the beasts of the field and all creeping things that creep upon the earth and all the men that are upon the face of the earth shall shake at my presence, and the mountains shall be thrown down, and the steep places shall fall, and every wall shall fall to the ground. And it says, at the Lord's presence. And I will call for a sword against him throughout all my mountains, saith the Lord Yahweh. Every man's sword shall be against his brother. And I will plead against him with pestilence and with blood. And I will rain upon him and upon his bands, and upon the many people that are with him, an overflowing rain, and great hailstones, fire and brimstone. Thus will I magnify myself and sanctify myself, and I will be known in the eyes of many nations. They shall know that I am Yahweh. And that's part of 2nd Edges 13. 2nd Edges chapter, and we got to finish that. Zephaniah. We read 31. I'll read it over. 2nd Edges 13, 31. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another. And we're seeing that. That's why we have Russia, Ukraine. All right, that's why we have Israel versus the nations that I mentioned earlier. That's why we have America warships getting bombed and America bombing back. All right, that's why we have China and Taiwan like tensions thick as hell. Which, if that happens, America's going to help Taiwan because America has personal interest in Taiwan with these super chips. I need to short these chips. Anyway, so yeah, it's happening. And America is being invaded right now. Clearly. It's just a matter of time when these so-called migrants show however many it is that they're a part of whatever army they belong to, whether it's the UN or whether it's some other invasion, man. We'll see. Some sleeper cells, Lord knows. And the time shall be when these things, either way, America will be invaded. And the time, there will be war in this land, I should say. And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen, which I showed thee before. And then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another. So they're going to stop the fight that they have in these different skirmishes. And it's going to be, like the article said, World War III in the so-called Middle East. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome by fighting. And when our Lord comes, these nations are going to turn their guns from each other to the Most High. That's Revelation 12. That's the war in heaven. Revelation 12 makes it clear that the Romans are that dragon, that serpent, called the devil. The old serpent called the devil. That's plain when you read Revelation 12. So who's Satan and his army? The Romans. Who's Satan and his angels? The Romans and his armies. Plain and simple. They're going to try to fight against the Lord. And Zion shall... It's like people don't put the precept upon precept. This Revelation 17, 12. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but received power as kings when out with the beast. All right, that's EU/NATO. All right, they came together and became an alliance with America. Just as Rome ruled. Rome is this little ass country or city, Slovakia, and Italy. But it ruled with its allies, the rest of Europe, or the different parts of Europe. Same thing now. And it's the same nations. Now they're called France and Germany and Britain, as opposed to the Franks and the Goths, all right, and Vandals. They just got different names. Same thing. All right. That's the beast. That's Rome 2.0, the fourth beast in Daniel. Rome. America being the little horn. Okay. Look up Treaty of Rome. These have one mind and should give their power and strength unto the beast. These 10 kingdoms. And Daniel lets you know that sometimes it says kings, but it's talking about a nation, a kingdom. Because it's going to be one ruler of that kingdom at once. So this kingdom is the same thing. These have one mind. And I might as well grab that. Just for the sake of edification. Because somebody may have that question. It's just a matter of me finding it. Yeah, Daniel 7. These great beasts which are four kings which shall rise out of the earth. But 7:23 says, thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms. So it called it a kingdom. It called it a king and a kingdom. And shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it to pieces, which is Rome, which is now America, having that great sword, which couldn't be stopped. Rome 2.0. Plain. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. So that's your war in heaven in Revelation 12. Same thing that's being mentioned here in 2nd Esdras. 13, follow the precepts. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together as thou sawest them. That's why you have a space force now. Willing to come and to overcome them by fighting, and to overcome him by fighting. He shall stand upon the top of Mount Zion. And that's really the point. All right. It's another one in the same chapter. Same book. Maybe it's the 16th chapter. Second 15:20. Behold, said the Most High, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Libanus, to turn themselves one against another, World War III, and repay the things they have done to them. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also recompense in their bosom, thus saith Yahweh power. My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. The fire is gone forth from his wrath, hath consumed the foundation of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. All right? So that's what's coming. Zephaniah 3:8. Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey, for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. So we're watching the Lord prophecies play out. We're watching the fall of our enemies, and it's going according to plan. All right? Russia being the guard unto Persia and that great multitude. All right? Israel sucking America up into this conflict they have with these different groups, which Iran is one of them, Persia is one of them. All right, which the dragons of Arabia are uniting off this Hamas shit. All right, it's all happening, and that's just part of the signs. We're just talking about part of the signs. All right, there's uprisings, there's earthquakes. Everything's ready to go digital. U.S. dollars crashing. Esau has been exposed. We're waking up to the truth. Ezekiel 37. The gospel is hitting the four corners. It's a wrap. All praises, honor, glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah Bahasham Kakodash. Double honor to the apostle of the great millstone. And South Asian brothers doing this thing in sincerity and truth and with charity. Shalom, Baba Ball.